Alrighty, hello guys, welcome back. Today we're going to start a brand new backtest. And yeah, I don't know what market you want to backtest. We can do, I was thinking gold during this season to see how gold interacted with NQ. That's something I love to do. Or seeing how different markets interact during the same time frame to see, for example, because what I'll do is over time, I'll come here and I go to this tab right here. I go to sessions and I go and select a few sessions all throughout the same year. So this was December of 24, January through December. This was May to December of, okay, so I don't want to include two markets at the same time. This has been Bitcoin the last year. This has been JUR 40, I believe, the last year. And then this has been RTY the last year. And then we can include oil in there. Like these are the general assets I trade, right? And then you can throw in like if you do Forex, and then some other market. So like Russell, which I think is similar to RTY. And then you can see, okay, looking at the overall general markets, how has my system performed in the last year? Because it's very easy to look at one equity curve, right? Like right here. Look at this and say, oh, like it did well. But really, how did it do when you're trading four other markets at the same time, right? So we want to go and look at that data. That's the most important data. Because one market might have been, break even the entire year, and then you combine them all. These are all the markets from 2024, like the main markets. Okay, and you can see for the most part, you can average around 600% a year. That's kind of what I expect to see, right? Now this is a little low, given how many markets we had, but you can see now that we're trading 4, 5, 6 markets, how many trades you're getting a week, a day, right? You're getting, per asset, it's just one trade a week in general. 5 assets, you're getting about 5 trades a week. And you need to realize the biggest thing is sometimes they're not going to be all green. Loss, 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 loss. That's 4 losses in a row with 5 different assets, right? But, same for greens. So,
Well, you kind of, when you trade live, you kind of look, it might be even be a little less extreme in terms of, the losses I sometimes see right
so
now.
say that again.
Because you like limit your losses, like too long.
Yeah. So then what you do, this is the best part, is you click export data, you throw it into an Excel, which I do personally, and then you simply go and anytime there's more than 2 losses, you cut them out. And it's that simple. Because yeah, these 5 trades probably, only would have been 2 losses, right? So
Yeah,
they're cut at 2.
exactly.
Yeah, how the hell did I get 7 trades this day? I don't know. They must have all not been losers. So let's we said we were trading. What do you want to trade?
Well, I had in mind like MES 24.
We already did that though, didn't we? Yeah. I don't know how it
Oh, okay,
ended.
never mind then.
Hang on. I mean, it was kind of shit, not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting, because that's the reason why I wanted to see how you.
It was about 100% ish.
And this was only New York, or?
This is only New York, yeah, with a 60% win rate.
Damn.
What kind of values did you see when you tested it?
Well, now I'm testing like two criterias, like two, um, like multiple variables. So the first one is like the type of entries you used to take, the ones that were not wiki, the ones that were
Yeah.
pretty low in the range on the that were in chop. That's like my criteria A, and then I had criteria B where I take your more refined setups now, which are more wiki, but they are um, a lot more calculated. Like you don't take them in the middle of job. You use the 4 hour, etc. So I saw a really big difference between them. Just like testing every market twice just to see what works for me, because we don't take the exact same entries. It's really
Yeah.
personalized.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing is you see all these guys going around trying to copy someone's system or stuff like that, and they just end up, you know, not doing themselves any good because it's nearly impossible to copy a system Everyone's brains is
Yeah.
very, very different. So that's why I have no problem sharing my exact system with people. It's because I know
Mhm.
that it's going to be impossible for them to replicate it the way I do. Yeah, they'll get similar entries like we saw in Discord in the community. You'll get people that get the exact same entry that I get. However, everyone's brains are very, very different. You're not always going to see the same thing. And it's about pattern recognition at the end of the day. So
Yes.
if you want to do M&Q again, I'd totally be down. I know it was
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
shit, but we'll do. I always do a standard 300K account because I always start off with 250Ks and then scale those up. But the only thing that matters is percentage. You said 2024?
Yeah. MES, but I don't know if MNQ is
You don't know if M&Q is what?
like the same thing as MES.
Let me actually go take a look. Yeah, I have a lot of backtests in here. Yeah, I guess I haven't done MES, so we'll go ahead and do that. Oh, it's the futures version of it. Okay. Cool. To
Yeah. Yeah.
Jan 2025. And then no layout. Start January 24. Then go to January 25. Perfect. So we'll get as far as we can on this one. I don't know how long we'll go for.
Yeah. Just take your time.
Yeah. I'll walk you through
Chilling.
it because I also enjoy these back tests. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing them. I like, just testing my edge. And once again, the most important thing, one of the most important things is realizing that you need to learn to do this without any sort of indicator. Now, if you're using basic stuff like MAs or trend lines, whatever you're using, keep it simple because there's going to be a time, just like it happened with MetaTrader. I don't know if you traded back in the day with MetaTrader 5 and 4, but what's going to happen is at some point, all those companies are going to go, right? TradingView, I'm under the anticipation that TradingView could go bankrupt tomorrow and I'll still be able to trade on any other platform because I know my system that well. I'm not reliant on any sort of indicators unless they're just regular ones like here. These are just regular MAs. So biggest thing is I see a lot of people reliant on those indicators, which do them no good at all. So, hey, and by the way, do you want to trade New York only?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll go to the next day open. Okay. There we go. And New York for me, this is my session generally. What time is this? 5 in the morning. Yeah. So I start at around 5 in the morning Mountain and close all my trades by 2 p.m. because market closes at 3 p.m. Mountain, which is 5 p.m. Eastern, right? I believe so. Can you hear
I
me?
have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if it's
We
I
can look
don't know if
here.
it is.
Just to double check, I'm pretty sure market hours. If we go to Mountain, which is just my time. Market opens at 8. So I'm up by 5. That puts me at 7. So I'm looking at the chart 1 hour before market open for New York.
Okay.
And then market close. New York, there we go. Market close, daylight savings. I don't know if we're in daylight savings or not, but that would put us at 4. And I close all my trades at 2. Yep. Yeah, so we're pretty much on the same 5. So 3, 2, 1. Okay. Yeah, so I close all my trades at 2. So
Okay.
I think it's a very safe practice to do. So looking at this chart, our session just opened up January 2nd. So there's going to be a shit ton of red news, by the way, for the next few months. I remember this. So lots of red news. Market's falling off. So right away, I can start to look at this falling off. A lot of people, and I want to reiterate this, a lot of people would watch my old videos and remember that I would look at the daily and every time frame had to be in line to trade. That's no longer a thing because I figured out I can make a lot more money scalping all these micro trends all the way down and all the way up instead of waiting for every single time frame like the daily to line up. So that's no longer a thing, which is amazing. Now looking at this 4 hour, I'm looking for sells. Hourly is very clean, very strong. So now in the 20 minute, I'm just looking for my validation. And let me turn this on. There we go. Waiting for some sort of setup. You saw that, but we did play a little bit forward too quick. This is my entry.
Yeah.
Like I said, one thing I've been testing is the size of the wick versus the size of the candle. Generally, I want this to be just about the same size or smaller, the wick. So 4 hour, good, hourly good, 20 minute good. So this is my entry. Can we agree this is a very clean entry? Do you see why? Okay. I just want to make sure so people aren't like, oh no, he saw it and then took it after the fact. It's like, nope, that's actually very, very clean.
Mhm.
And you can see it on the compare every trade. One thing I used to do back in my old community, a big tip for anyone would be go and look at their trades and take screenshots of them and just cycle them. Like go to my Discord here, go to my elite trade ideas and go and look at each one and go just literally look at them before you go to bed. Look at them. And soon enough, they're just going to become so ingrained into your head of why I took them, how I took them, that you're just going to know that you're going to have that intuition, right? You won't be able to explain it, but you'll just be like, no, it looks clean. And you won't be able to explain why.
Yes.
Cool. That was a loss anyway, so good. Go down for the 20 minute. Oh yeah. I gotta set this up too. January 24. I like to keep an eye out on news for the week. Oh my goodness. There we go. So news for the week. No red news until January 3rd at 8 and 12 because this thing is off sometimes. 4 hour is still good, hourly good, 20 minute good. So another re-entry right over this high. I'm going to take one more loss and then I'll be done for the day. ATR is 4. What is that? 4.6. It's a little small. I'll move it just a little higher so we don't get wicked in. Set up my entry buy stop. Falls down. Make sure it's still valid. Potentially still valid. It's getting very wicky, so done. Going back up to the 20 minute. Looking for a new re-entry and what time is this? So you get, this would be 12, so this is no longer a valid entry. I don't take any entries past 12, but we'll see how it plays out. It looks like just a break even potentially. Going on to the next day, we have a lot of red news this day, so kind of just staying on the sidelines to be honest. How far are we from red news? We're an hour and 20, so this is still a valid entry. I like to stay within 45 to an hour away from red news, both before and after. So yeah, this is a potential entry here. ATR is 2.69. I can already anticipate that it's going to be a loss, just given that it's close to red news. However, I still take them because it's what I've tested. How far are we from red news? Okay, it's too late to do anything. I was going to move to break even on this push, but I'll just let it play out. Move to break even on that push. And then get taken out at break even. And then just wait 40 minutes after red news. Too weak of a candle. This is a potential entry, but it looks like the wick is a little bit larger than the actual body of the candle. They're actually the exact same size. So this is a moment where you make your own decision. And I'm just going to say no, given that we're in between two red news events. I'm not going to risk it. And we're done for the day. So another day of no trades, or a break even, I guess. 4 hours starting to weaken out a little bit. So I'm going to wait for the hourly. There we go. Money comes in. Red news event though. So now on the 20 minute, I'm going to wait 40 minutes after red news. Let red news play out. And by the way, I don't know if you've seen the more recent videos, but red news on this platform is off by an hour. So if you go and look at red news here, red news actually plays out an hour later. So it would be on this candle. And same thing here. It's just, I think it's daylight savings problem they didn't take into account. So whatever. I just kind of try to stay away for that time. And what time is it? Yep, done for the day. Nothing happened. Going on for the next day, 4 hour bearishness continues. Hourly is okay, 20-minute is okay. Red news though, lots of red news. Okay, we have red news that time. So let all this play out. Looking at the 4 hour, it looks like money's starting to come in. So I'm just gonna give this market time until it's reasonable. It's still very, very weak. I don't know what this market wants to do. I call this a no trade zone. It could either chop up, and I'm kind of anticipating a good amount of chop somewhere around here for a while. Unless we get a very, very strong push, and then I'm in for the longs. There we go. 4 hour good, hourly good. 20-minute, no entries, and we're coming in on daily close. So nothing to do there. 4 hour good, hourly very weak. There we go. 4 hour good, hourly good, 20-minute good. What time is it? Yep. So this would be an anticipatory entry. 4 hour good, hourly good, 20-minute is good. Because here, if I go onto the 5-minute or 20, sorry. If I go into the 20-minute and look at the open of the next candle, you're going to see this MA is now going to be interacting with that candle. There we go. So now this valid buy stop is no longer anticipatory, but a valid entry. ATR is 3.61. Something like that. Get tapped in, get tapped out, nothing new. 20-minute, gonna wait for a new reentry. Assuming this isn't red news on January 9th. Red news at 6:30. What time is this? Okay. So 4 hour good, hourly good. Yeah, this is an interesting entry. You could take an entry over this. I don't particularly like the weakness up top. It's giving me lots of
I got a
uncertainty.
question.
Yeah.
I got a little question about these types of entries in particular. Is it like, for example, sometimes it goes below the MA, and then you get like a really weaker candle than this one. That's that you may still view as valid, but you could say that those are like less probable, like low probability trades, right?
Yeah,
Because of that.
definitely. I actually see
Okay.
that quite a lot. So even like right here, if we were to take some random sample set, are you talking about some like this or some like this up here? Like this
Yeah,
one
but
or like
without the I would say where it's like, yeah, where it flushes out and then
this one right here?
yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, if you take this one, it also meant that you took this one back here, right? And it
Yeah.
also meant that you took this one back here. And it also meant that you took potentially this one. This one may have worked out. And so
But let's say the previous market condition was like, or like the previous price action was pretty clean.
I still
Like
don't take it.
okay.
Yeah, because there's so many. I've gotten back in the day when I used to trade like that, where I'd take any candle that looked like this.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that would ultimately happen is the same candle would set up 5 times in a row, and I'd take 5 losses back to back, right?
Mm.
So I wait for the cleanest of cleanest candles. Like this one has a lot of bearishness up top. It can still run, and
Okay.
it'll probably run a good amount, but it doesn't give me the certainty that I want. It's not something that I've particularly messed around with. And so I see a lot of chop out. Going on to the next day, 4 hours still holding on. This 4 hours starting to make me question a couple things. It's chopping quite a bit. And once again, I don't know if you've seen the most recent videos, but in the most recent videos, I talked about NVIDIA. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah, I did.
So same thing. I always talk about this. It just like NVIDIA was giving us on the daily in this case, some really weird price action. I told you guys this thing's ready to dump. And then everyone freaked out when it did, when we knew long before something weird was going on. And same with NQ. If we look at NQ right now, there's something sus going on. Now, I'm not saying this thing's about to dump, but there could be a very nice continuation higher. But from my experience, I've seen this thing, it's more likely to dump than anything, right? And that's with all the tariffs they're talking about and all the new shit they do. So same thing is happening here. That same thought is running through my head where something weird is happening. If it would have continued going, it should have. Now, if I look at the daily's in line. This is like our main target up here. 4 hour, it's just being weird. So I'm going to give this market time. I'm going to wait. There we go. So money comes in. 4 hours starting to clear up, right? Shaping up. 4 hour good, hourly good. So now on the 20 minute, I'm going to wait for some baseline and then potential entry here. Now I just want to make sure it's not news, January 10th.
And because of the previous job, do you care about the 4 hour being almost close to closing?
No,
4 hour
no.
candle.
No.
Okay.
Because it's just so far away from our entry that honestly, no.
You don't use that anymore.
Only on the lowers. I'd say the hourly and below. Yeah.
Okay.
Because if the hourly just opened and it's right here, or like even if the hourly opened and it's all the way up here, chances are it's not going to continue going up. It's actually going to drop, right?
Yeah.
Same thing here. If the hourly candle down here opened up and was pushing up to here and then you took your entry, it's like, that's not very smart because there's still 40 minutes left in the candle and odds are it's not going to continue going up. It's actually going to chop you out. So yeah, I only do that for the lowers though. So the 20 minute as well, hourly to 20 minute. 4 hour is okay, hourly is okay, 20 minute is okay. This is one of those like risk entries because the 4 hour is just so weird. I don't like this chop. So I'll take an entry here, take one loss and then call it good. Something like that. Get tapped in, get tapped out. There we go, nothing new. And then I'm kind of done unless something really clean shows up, but yeah. You can see our analysis is right. It's just, can you get positioned in the right fashion, right? 4 hour is still shaping up. Hourly is good. So 20 minute, I want to see lots of strength come into this market and just falls off. Once again, we're entering that 4 hour chop. Now in my more refined system, like what I trade right now, like on live accounts, I don't trade this. I stick to very, very clean markets, right? This is something that I kind of leave for more fun, if anything. Like if I just can't seem to find a trade, I'll catch an edge out of these moves, but I wait for the clarity to come in. So I'll kind of end up doing that right now. Coming into our session, I'm just gonna wait for the more like perfect entries because I think it'll set a very good example for you too. But yeah, there's nothing here. Going on to the next day. This is the next day. Once again, you give me a very shit market condition for now. So all of January and February are probably going to be like actually very bad. And you can just see it on the price action. Now we're getting a lot of bearishness coming in. It's kind of up to you if we play off of this price action. So you can kind of get a more in-depth view of the system. Or if you want to stick to just very, very clean entries, that's also up to you.
Well, I just want to see how you would do it live.
Well, I'll still go look at this price action, yeah, on the lives. Like today, I was looking at some very questionable wheat and corn markets, but just to see if there was any level of clarity that can't be seen on the hires. So once again, we're just chopping. I don't want to touch any of this unless we get a very, very strong indication. I'll go down again and look at the lowers. Got red news here in 2 hours and 20. 4 hour, lots of bearishness coming through. Hourly is very clean. So this is what I'm looking at. Looking at the 4 hour, lots of bearishness and very, very strong. That's what the money's doing right now. So I go down to the hourly, very clean. That's another thing, clean. Nasty, very clean. Moving away from the MA. 20 minute, semi-clean, chopped. But there was no other entry besides this one, right? This was, who knows at what time? At 1:40 in the morning. I didn't trade during that time. So this is like your only entry. And I'd consider one entry here. 2.5. And then probably going to be an immediate loss or no setup at all. Jump back up to 20, see if we get one more entry, but it's red news, so probably nothing. 40 minutes after red news, I'm good to trade. So that's 20 and then 40, good. Okay, potential entry here at 10:20. Gonna go up to 4 hour, once again, dumping very hard, and I do like that. 4 hour good, hourly good, 20-minute is okay. So I'll consider one sell here. Probably gonna be a loss, just given the chop market condition. And going into any trade, that's my expectation. I always expect that it's going to be a loss, because then you're not surprised. You're like, okay, cool. Okay, so looking at this, we took 2 losses, I believe, or 1 loss. I'm just gonna go to the next day, and we're entering chop again. 4 hour, what time was this? Yep, so that's 12. Okay, coming into our session. Now, this is very, very clear for me. This is very, very clear. Look at the amount of money that came into this to push it this way. And there was no pullback, there was no sideways, it just went. Here, there was pullbacks, kind of hesitated, went, came back down. It's very different than here. So this is another moment that even though we're in this giant chop that I generally don't look at, it's still giving me lots of opportunities on the lowers. So this is when I jump down lower and see if I can scalp anything. Okay. Gotta see how far we are from red news though. Yeah, so this is a valid entry. Can you see that? Oh. Hello, hello?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were cutting out. So
Nah, I muted myself.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so 4 hour is very clean, hourly is very clean. 20-minute, you see that entry? Very, very clean. So 5-minute long right over this high is 2.26, something like that. Did I say 2.26? Yeah. So very tight entry. Might be a very quick stop out. I want to see this high break to break even. Otherwise, just take an awesome loss. Cool. 20-minute, just going to let red news play out and we fall back down. So if anything, let this play through. After red news, so it's 9 in the morning, 4 hour good, hourly good, 20-minute good. Wait for this candle to close here. Nothing sets up. Potential setup over this high, but once again, very weak at the high. So if anything, I'll use this back test to kind of test this. I'm not going to take any validation candle that isn't perfect in terms of strength at the high. Or I don't know if I should or not, because I don't want to change up my system on you right now, right? So
Yeah.
I don't want to be unfair to you and be like, oh, I'm actually going to test my
But it does
stuff.
look clean.
It looks clean. I don't like the weakness at the high. It's still valid. So I'll still set up my trade, but we'll keep an eye out on those kinds of entries. ATR is 4.75, something like that. 20-minute is still valid. 20-minute is still valid. Probably going to be a very quick stop out. Move to break even once we move that far. Really nothing to manage to yet. I still have break even for me. And then I close every trade at 2 p.m. So regardless of where we're at, 2 p.m. rolls around, close everything. I couldn't find anywhere to manage, so that's just the way it rolls. 20-minute, done for the day, going up to the 4 hour and the next day. Finally, I don't know if you remember that daily target we had set, but we just kind of blew through that. So it's very easy to dictate the direction, right? If you were to be a long-term investor, you could go to a daily chart and look at any price action, even weekly if we have access to that. Look at any weekly chart and see, okay, don't do anything for this time period. Don't do anything, don't do anything, don't do anything. Oh, there's accumulation, we're chopping. At this very moment, when we start pushing away, you buy. Oh, we made a 10% return on $10 billion, okay? Fall back down under MAs, sell everything, or however you want to do that. And then, oh, back over MAs, boom, buy. And this is a strategy that one of the most successful traders in the world use. I forgot his name, but he literally only used the most simple, I think it was 150-day moving average, and that's how he traded. So kind of similar to what we're doing is getting involved only when there's money behind the move, just at a smaller scale, right? So 4 hour good, hourly good, 20-minute is looking a little sus, depending on what time this is. So potential entry here, I didn't catch it because it's not my session, but if you're up earlier, sure. So now I'm just kind of waiting for, looks like red news on January 22nd. We're going to double check. No red news. Okay, so it is a valid entry here. 4 hours good, hourly's good, 20 minutes good, so 5 minute long. Definitely going to be an instant loss here. But it is part of the system. So I do have to take it. Take my immediate loss. 20-minute is still valid for long. Get tapped in, take a loss. And then look for another potential setup here. And we're just kind of chopping, done for the day. So we took one loss there. Looking at the 4 hour, 4 hours just kind of going sideways. Hourly's okay. So 20-minute, gonna look for some very good strength here. Potential validation, anticipatory. 4 hour good, hourly. I just don't like this market, bro. It moves a little weird. So I think it does move a little different than NQ.
And what makes you say that exactly?
It's just, it's one of those things, again, it's hard to explain, but it's just weird. It's a weird market. Like, if you go and look at the assets that I trade, you won't see any of them in recent price action doing weird stuff like this, right? I only trade it in this market condition, right? So I don't see a whole lot of like just weirdness, if that makes sense. I think this is very weird market to say, like, I can't put it into words, but if you look at the candles, like if we go and pinpoint, they're small, they're not moving, they're sideways, they fall down, there's no actual delivery, builds up, falls down, builds up, falls down, builds up, falls down, builds up, probably is going to fall down on my entry, right? So yeah, like looking at this earlier, I said it could have been a distribution, a start of a distribution, and then it built back up, and then it fell back down, and then finally we're following it long. But knowing this market and what I've seen the past, what is this, 21 days or 30 days, I can expect this to fall off again. So it's just not the typical market I trade.
Okay, makes sense.
I'm wondering if it's because it's the micros, so there's a lot less money in it. Because the contracts are a lot smaller, but so looking at this entry, 4 hour good, hourly good, 20-minute good, anticipatory. So we look at the open of the next candle. There we go. Valid entry buy stop over this high. ATR is 1.96. That's a giant entry, but I'll take it. Get buy stopped in, immediate loss, and watch. I'm kind of anticipating this market to just fall off. Maybe not. There you go. So yeah, I'll wait for the 4 hour to do something better. Okay, those are past our sessions, so we can't do anything. This is our session, so 4 hour good, hourly good, 20-minute good. I'll wait for the 20-minute to line up after red news. This is, once again, I think red news is off by an hour, so we'll see here. Otherwise, this is my entry. I'll see if there's chop. Yeah. So red news actually looks like it played out around this time. So no touching for an hour after, let this play out, and then done for the day. Once again, back up to the 4 hour, just kind of no trade zone for me. I want to see money come in. There we go, on red news. So after red news, I want to see some sort of setup. I don't know if this is valid. 4.5. 5. So yeah, just barely. So we'll take this entry. I don't know if it wins or not, but 4 hour good, hourly good, 20-minute good. Yeah, so 5 minute long over the high. ATR is 5. Get tapped in, get tapped out. Nothing clear. Done for the day. Gonna wait for red news to play out here. There we go. 4 hour good, hourly good, 20-minute good. But it looks like it's right after red news. Depending on where red news is at, so if it actually is on this point, I can take an entry over this high because it'll be 20 minutes after red news, 40 minutes after red news, and then this would complete the hour, right? 2, 4, 6. So the candle after this one is good for a long. 4 hour good, hourly good, 20-minute good. So we'll see how it plays out. It might be that red news is offset by an hour, which in that case means that red news will be on this candle. So we'll see. But I'll set up my buy stop. 4.5. Probably take an immediate loss on this one. Four hour good, hourly good, 20-minute good, so 5-minute long over the high. ATR is 4.5. Take a loss, maybe. Yep. Notice how it's just been loss after loss after loss. Have I taken 2 losses this session? Do you know? I think I've just taken one.
Yeah, I thought so.
Okay, so we'll take one more loss over this high. ATR is 3.5, something like that. Still valid, but very questionable. Immediate tap out. There you go. 2 losses in a day. Let's go to the next day. So if anything, wait for our session. There we go. 4 hour good, hourly. Wait for money to come in. Good. 4 hour, hourly, 20. This is your entry. At 10, whatever time that is. I don't like this very much. Notice how we move in patterns of like this, just sideways shit, sideways everywhere. And you kind of got to get lucky catching these moves. Same thing here, like just sideways. So I'll take it just because it is part of my system. But once again, probably not a market you'd see me trading live anytime soon.
Okay. That's actually good to know.
Yeah, if I have to look at a market too long like this, like if you look at some of my better back tests where I'm just going through it, flying through it, you know, if you have to really question it, it's not a good entry to take. So I'll take it, but 2.72. Probably take another loss. There you go. Yeah, go ahead.
So if it's a market that you wouldn't follow, would it be still a good idea, like base your refinements on a market, or just completely ignore it when it comes to your refinements? Because it's something you wouldn't trade live anyway.
True, but the way I built my system is I went to the worst of the worst markets and I traded them. And I learned lessons from that. And I said, first of all, at what point does my system become not profitable? And I think I'd kind of categorize one of these moments as that. And second of all, what things can I take away from this? Because you're going to learn a lot from very bad market conditions. That's where I kind of learned all this shit. If you don't go back and test bad markets, you won't realize that moments like these are what kind of keep your system in drawdown versus if you wait for moments like these, right? And then I don't know. I'd say the best thing you could do is go test the worst of the worst markets once you have a good idea of your system, because then it just teaches you so much, right? It
Okay.
really tests you. So if your system can be profitable in a market condition, or even break even in a market condition like this, I think you're completely set. I think you'll be okay.
Okay, so make sure it survives that.
Yeah, pretty much. At least break even.
Okay.
Like because if you're taking a shit ton of entries in here, that means at some point you're gonna reach a live market that gets to this point, and that's where all your money is gonna go. And it doesn't matter how profitable you are here, because all these losses aren't going to offset all the winners.
Okay.
So yeah, like right now I'm just looking at this market and I'm like, what the fuck? I have to think a lot about it. There we go. We see some very strong money coming into it. But you can just see this. Generally, I like to see markets go. This thing flushed down again and then builds back up, and it's probably going to flush out again. So
Yeah.
even though it does seem to move pretty okay, it's just not my thing. Yeah, like I don't know why that hourly has to flatline so long. So coming into my session, got red news coming up, so I can't really trade anything. And we collapse again. Okay, potential anticipatory. I need to see the next candle. 4 hour good, hourly good ish. Like I'm so not familiar with this kind of price action where it falls down sharply under the MA and then builds back up. Like I'm used to more
Yeah.
fluid markets. So when I see these things, I really have to question myself and be like, huh. Right?
Yeah, that's the reason why I wanted to
We'll see how I do. Right now we're down 10 grand or something, 13 grand. So
Yeah, I had the same thing.
yeah, if we trade similar, there's gonna be, similar results. Probably another loss. Oh, you're shitting me. Oh my goodness. Did that actually tap me out, or was that? I can't tell.
Yeah, you wanted to go below the stop loss, right?
Yeah. Otherwise, it doesn't count for me because my
Yeah, it
broker
didn't.
stops me out. So it just tapped me. I don't know what you consider that. And the other thing is sometimes you're going to have variance in your data collection where sometimes you'll place a trade just like that, and other times you'll place it up here. And it's that natural variance that will change up the way your system performs. And you can't really, I've tried to make rules around it, but it's just very hard. There's so many moving parts to it that at the end of the day, I just choose to leave it to variance, data variance,
Yeah.
instead of trying to like control all that. Got lots of red news coming up, so I'm just gonna let that play through. Coming back down into chop once again. So I'm gonna let the 4 hour play a little clean. 4 hour shaping up, but I'm just gonna skip till our session. So 12, this is our session. I did play a little forward, my bad. Okay, so coming into, what time is this? Yep, 5 in the morning. 4 hours, okay. Hourly's okay, 20-minute. There is an entry here, but you probably would have missed it given how low it was on the hourly range. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if you would have taken that. Market just kind of goes without you. That's okay. Another potential entry here. I don't know if this is red news or not. 4 hour good, hourly good. 20-minute is valid. ATR is 6.24. Get tapped in, probably take a loss here, nothing new. Cool. Done for, what time is this? 10:40? Yeah, kind of done for the day. All this is too weak. 4 hour falling down again. Yep, not trading this shit. Just got awful. Okay, what time is this? So this would be our session, looking for sells. No trade zone. Wait for our next session. Notice I'm just skipping all this. I'm like, dude, this is horrible. Actually, bro. Like, oh man. So now I can consider looking for some new price action here. We're already in February, and there's nothing good. Yeah. Money does come in. I don't know if there's a valid entry here for us. No entry. I don't think this is valid. Let me go look at the 4 hour at that time. A little low in the range. Hourly is low in the range. So, yep, that's not a valid entry. This is a valid entry. What time is it? 11. We'll see what it looks like. I think it does stop us out, but we'll still throw it in the data collection. So 4 hour clean, hourly clean. Yep, you get this entry. And then a 4.5. Get tapped in, take a loss here. Okay, move to break even on that push. Still nothing due. And then close the entire position at this time. Go to the next day. 4 hour okay, hourly okay. Okay, so this market's starting to clear up quite a bit. I'm gonna wait for red news. Let that just dump. Nothing clear, nothing clear. Okay, too late to take anything. Done for the day. 4 hour, chopping again. I'm not touching. Okay, so it's starting to clear up a little bit from whatever the hell this was back here. This was very choppy. So now I can consider starting to look for sells here. And I'll look for some sort of entries. But just notice the wickiness and choppiness of this market. Potential entry over this high. 4 hour good, hourly good. I'll take it because I haven't taken one in a while, but it's just, I don't like it. Move to break even on that push. Bro, what the fuck? I don't know what market this is. This doesn't even look like a major. This reminds me of like the exotic forex pairs. Like that just moves so unfamiliar to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So 4 hours good. Still for sells, hourly good, 20-minute good. So we get another entry in here. ATR is 2.26. Probably not even gonna tap me in, to be honest. 20-minute is still valid. 20-minute is still valid. Take another loss. Done for the day. Yeah, this is god awful, bro. Okay, now I'm just gonna start skipping shit until it's clean, okay? Is that okay? Trading it like live?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, yeah, because I've had my fair share of shitty price action. It bores me out. I prefer the cleaner.
Yeah, it's okay. I just want to see how you would trade it live anyway.
Okay, so red news here. Waiting 40 minutes after a potential entry buy stop of this high. This is a lot cleaner, by the way. Very clean. I don't know what the hell this was. So And then if I still have my trading view open, if you go and look at these assets, I think the top 8 were the ones I was looking at today. And you go up to the 4 hour, look at the difference. We're moving. I don't know why the hell I was looking at this, or if I was or not. But I was looking at like some weird corn stuff. You know, we entered this weird choppy market condition. And the only reason I was looking at it is because we had pushed so much money came into that market. Same here. Same here. This is a lot cleaner though. Super clean. I don't think I was looking at oil. You can just see there's money behind a move. So I'm very specific with the higher time frames as well. 4 hour good, hourly good, 20-minute good after red news. So I'll take a long over this high. ATR is 5.97. I'm actually going to do a little bit more testing on this market after this, because you've given me a couple of really good things to consider testing. So I'll go ahead and go do that on my own time, knowing that this market's like really shitty.
Yeah, because the interesting thing about it is that when I tested the older entries you took on this market, at the end of the testing, it was actually more profitable
Yeah,
than the
you're right.
more wiki entries and stuff. But that's
Because
also my way of
I
doing
also
things. I don't
tested
know.
that too, and I found out the exact same thing. Because I had tested NQ with my old system, and then I figured, I did my refinements, and my new system on a choppy market just does not perform. Period.
Yeah.
And my other system was built more for like chasing the very quick runs, versus this one is to manage a lot more capital. The idea is to scale to 5 million, account, and then
Yeah.
you're only taking the best of the best entries. Like, even this one is very questionable of an entry, right? Still an entry, and we'll see what happens. Look, so it does end up running. However, it's just, bro, it gives you a headache wanting to chase all those small trades. So that's why I don't trade that way anymore. I prefer to just let them come to me instead of chasing them. Because otherwise I'll drive you crazy. ATR was 3.73. Get tapped in. On the break of this high, I'll move to break even. Nothing to manage to, nothing to manage to. Still nothing to manage to. Managing 70% to here. Managing 70% to here. Managing 70% to here. Almost tapped out, so I'm going to play it very slow. Okay, take off 70%. Okay, 70% is off, and then I'm looking at the hires, and I'll manage the remaining 30% to this low. Okay, well, I can't change my stop loss, so I'll just set a mental stop loss to here. Okay, and get taken out for the rest. Going that it is after market close. There we go. So the 4 hour is actually very clean now. Hourly is very clean, so 20-minute, gonna look for an entry here. Only entry I see here is this one and this one as it's forming. So we'll see how it closes. Now we have 3 entries. This one is invalid, but 2 entries back to back that are valid. 4 hour good, hourly good, 20-minute good. So you can kind of choose which one you take there, but ATR is 1.75-ish. And I can move this a little higher. Probably going to be a loss here. I'm okay with that. Move to break even. Take a break even. Looks like red news, to be honest, but I don't know. Okay, done for the day. Going up to 4 hour. 4 hours starting to go sideways again. 4 hour good, hourly good, 20-minute good. Probably not a valid entry off of this one. Once again, a lot of weakness at the high. I don't really like that. It is still valid entry, but I just gotta wait. Maybe we'll get something better here. Going sideways again on the 4 hour, so give this market time. Not touching. Once again, this is the representation of me waiting for the perfect market, right? Okay, coming into our session. Actually, I played one candle forward into our session, but that's okay. I don't think we got anything good. Potential entry here, maybe. And just falls down again. Done for the day. 4 hour shit, so I'm gonna give it time. This was red news, so I can't trade any of this. And I'm done for the day. Coming into the 4 hour, it's okay, hourly. 4 hours still good, hourly is very low, so I can't take this entry even though it's valid. There we go, getting a new entry over this high. 4 hour is very weak and sideways again, which I hate to see. There's still potential there though. You're kind of gambling on the fact that the moment you enter is going to be the moment it takes off, which can be very, very dangerous to do, right? We're in this situation where I'm kind of hoping that my entry is going to be the one that starts everything, and same here. Kind of hoping that this entry is the one that's going to go.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I don't like trading these kinds of markets.
But how would you do it live? Like you would just ignore this entry?
I would look at it. Here, let me go look at it. Like actually, if I were a live market.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it. I still like to test my system's boundaries and push it. So also like force them, which you should never do on the live. But when you're testing a system, especially backtesting, I like to force it a little bit to see, even if I would have taken all the bad entries, is my system still profitable? And if the answer is no, just don't take the bad entries. And I'll go back and redo this backtest, right? But yeah, like legitimately, no, don't trade this. That's the simple answer. 4 hour, yeah. So just chop, not touching, not touching, not touching. What time is this? So this is our session open. This candle. Hey, in a minute, do you mind if I run and go and grab a coffee? We'll take like a 10-minute break.
Yeah, 10-minute break is good.
And then we'll wrap up the call after that.
Yeah, that's fine.
So 4 hour, money comes in, kind of weak. Hourly, very strong. 20, very strong. But no entry. Oh, what time is this though? Red news is in 2 hours. So 4 hour, lots of money starting to come in. It's okay. Hourly is good, 20-minute strength coming in. So long over this high. ATR is 2.69. Get buy stopped in. Too weak. If anything, I'd wait for some more strength. Move to break even. Still at break even, nothing to manage. Considering managing 70%, there you go. So I'll take my 70% there. Pretty much the same height. And then just break even on the rest probably. Okay, apparently not. So I'm going to manage very aggressively, given that you generally don't get runs like these, especially on this market. And it's very wicky. Okay. Still at break even, bro. Our system's just break even at this point. You see that? So I'm going to focus on a little bit more of perfect market conditions like earlier. It just means you're going to be skipping a lot and not testing a whole lot. Like you'll get through backtest very, very quickly. So once again, red news was at this time, but it's off by an hour. So it looks like red news might be here. We'll see where this one opens up. You have a potential entry buy stop over that high. 4 hour good. Like this 4 hour is starting to shape up very nicely, kind of like back here. No more sideways, like weird shit. Like it pauses for a second and then continues versus, I don't know what this was. So when I say weird, it's just something that I'm very unfamiliar with, that my testing has told me just no, like stay away from that kind of price action. So 5.17. I just kind of round up to the closest entry there. Get tapped in, probably take a loss. Yep, nothing new. 20-minute. Kind of done for the day. Don't want to touch any of this shit. Yep, not touching. 4 hour money comes in, but it's very weak.
Yeah, I don't think you would ever trade this live, to be honest.
Bro, are you kidding me? I gotta be
Because
on
I
like,
compare,
yeah.
I look at a lot of your entries.
Hang on, you're cutting out. Can you hear me? Hello, hello,
Oh,
hello.
I said I look at a lot of your entries and they don't look like this.
No, not even close, dude. Like a market that builds up, falls down, builds up, flushes out, builds up, flushes out. Like we understand that markets move in waves, but these are like
Mhm.
not waves you want to be trading. These are like this right here should be an indication of what's going on. We built back up and didn't go through, but actually fell back down. Like the waves are too short to catch anything, right? Because if you catch something
Okay.
here, it's gonna crash down on you. And then if you try to take any entry in here, like 4 hour look clean here, and it crashes down, and you take another one, and it crashes down, and you take another one off this 4 hour, crashes down, take another one, but you get wicked out. You see? So the first thing that I do when I go into a market is I look at just the past few potential entries, and I look here, and it's like, okay, we pushed up, good opportunity all along here, flushed out. Good opportunity all the way through here, and then we flushed, hopefully starting to flush down or chop. So this is our session, 4 hour good. But like, I just hate saying this. Oh, I played a little quick on the 20. But yeah, potential entry off of this one. What time is it? 8:40. So we'll go look at it. Looking at the 4 hour. 4 hour starting to look a lot stronger. Hourly as well. 20-minute as well. So I'll consider a long over this high. 6.3 ATR stop. Probably going to be a loss. Here, I'll move it just slightly higher, given that we do have a lot of chop. Get tapped in, get tapped out. There you go. So looking at this 4 hour, I'm just skipping till something clean. I said 4 hour. What time was this at? Yeah, so that's past our session. Okay, coming into our session, it's okay, hourly okay, 20-minute. Okay, done for the day. I don't want to touch. Coming into our session, I'm done for the day. I don't want to touch. Done for the day, don't want to touch. What time is this? Okay, this is something I might consider starting to look at, but it's too late for our session. Yep, not touching. So what I do on the live is literally this. I look at a market, quickly, scan through it and be like, okay, is this something I want to touch? And now at this point, it's like, okay, now I want to get involved. What time does our session start? 5 in the morning. So you do have a couple entries here. This is a break even, it looks like, from this wick. And then this is red news, so you wouldn't even be trading that. What time is this? It is right after red news, so I also can't trade this. Okay, now we're starting to set up something a lot cleaner. 4 hour good, hourly good. 20-minute, man. It's too weak. Look at how, compare this candle size to all the other ones. They're exactly the same.
Yeah, we just talked about this.
So
These type of entries.
wait for like a massive candle and nothing sets up. You're done for the day. So I'm just gonna probably end up skipping through all this without a single trade. Go to our session. Nothing happens in our session. So yeah, this is what there we go. I'm gonna enter our session, money probably flows in, red news, hourly good, 20-minute good. I feel like this is a market, I talked about this in a way old video, but I feel like there's a lot of markets that move solely with news, like a news driven market. And I noticed that a lot of the moves are only kind of caused by red news, right? They're the ones that
Yeah.
cause these giant pushes up. So yeah, like chop again. Chop,
It's
chop.
actually a good thing you said that. I forgot you spoke about that in like a really early video.
Yeah, there's a lot of markets,
Yeah.
and it's mainly like the indices for the most part, some sort of index, where if you map out like the red news to what happens, it's like red news burst, red news burst in the opposite direction, red news burst, right? Red news caused red news caused this move. And I can't trade red news, so I'm staying out. More red news. What caused this giant flush down? Red news. What's about to happen right now? A giant move, but I can't trade it. Ready? Boom, giant move begins.
Mm.
There you go again. And it's like, we can't trade any of this. It's all red news. So you're kind of sitting out, and bro, why you got me trading this market? Like,
I was actually just interested to see what you would say.
well, there you go, bro.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to know. But it's really, really helpful.
Yeah, if I look at this market on the live, I run fast. I've considered, I still look at them like corn. I have gotten maybe one good trade off of corn. So like here, we get a lot of bearishness. It's off of red news, but it's still clean. Maybe we can get something here. Let's see. But we got red news again. That's probably going to do this. I don't know. Nothing, apparently. So looking at this 4 hour. 4 hour, now, given the amount of bearishness that came in, I'm still good to continue looking. But it's just like you got to get very lucky with your entry, because you can take, like, this was a valid entry, but right before red news. So, and then, like, this is what I mean, news driven market. It only moves with red news, and when there's not red news, you're just stable. So, yeah, I'm good, bro. Here, let me do this. It's 6 o'clock. We've been recording for an hour, so let me go grab a coffee real quick, and then we'll record for another hour at most, and then we'll call it a night.
Okay, that's cool.
But yeah, give me just 1 second, and give me like 5 minutes or something. Yeah, it just gives me a headache. So let me share my screen so I can show you what I'm working with.
Yes.
Cool. Hopefully you can see everything there. Now I'm going to show you the equity curve of this backtest. This isn't bad at all. Not one bit. Our max drawdown was 17K. So if we do 17,000 divided by 300,000 times 100, we had a max drawdown of 6%. Bro, for a market that bad with a win rate of 28%, still at break even after 25 trades, and only have lost 6%, that is a system worth pursuing. Because first of all, you're never going to be trading something like this. And second of all, being break even on a system like this is good, right? I wish it could have ended in some profit, but the fact that it ended at break even, I'm very happy with, right? So it's kind of up to you if we continue this. I can assume it's going to be about the same.
Yeah, we don't have to continue. Like, if you want to test something that we would look at live, I think that would be really good.
If you want,
side by side.
later
for
we'll
me.
contine this, okay? Because yeah, this
Yeah, that's
teaches
cool.
you
That's cool.
a lot of very valuable lessons. And if you want, as you continue your back testing, I'll continue my testing on this behalf, and then we'll compare results and see what things we notice. But I feel like it's not a very good use of our time because you don't actually get to see what a real market condition looks like. You get to see what forcing a market or forcing a system in a not very clean market looks like, right? And so
Exactly. Yeah.
there was a time last year where it was like 3 months without a trade. It was the most unbelievable time of my life where I was just sitting on my hands doing backtests 24/7 because not one market was clean. And if you're able to pinpoint those markets and just say, I'm going to sit out, then you won't have to worry about testing, the shittier market. So if anything, let me rename this and put pending on it.
Yeah. But
Just,
at the same time, that's like a conclusion you came at after going like through the mud, you
you
know?
have to
Like
go
I'm
through
still in that.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm in that
So,
process right now. That's why I don't want to be like just like okay, I'm not gonna trade this. I really want that experience to
yeah.
like
No, I went
be
through that.
instilled in me that
I started
yeah.
from the ground up. So I was part of a couple mentorships. I generally taught myself from reading books, and the books weren't really that helpful at all. They just taught fancy terminology. So what I ended up doing was starting. My biggest tip is if you want to learn how to trade, remove all indicators, remove everything, skip between timeframes and ask yourself, why did the market move here? And how can I get involved?
Hmm.
And then I'd highlight this section. Why did it move here and how can I get involved? So I'd come here, highlight this 4 hour section, be like, I want to make money from this point. Step down to the hourly. Where did the move start from? Oh, okay. It started after we crossed the MAs. So I'd refine this line to right here. Okay. So now next time I see price interacting with the MAs, I can anticipate it's going to move forward. Same thing here. Price comes into MAs, starts pushing forward. So let me remove this line. Okay, then I jumped down to the 20-minute. Oh, what actually caused it though? Okay, so nothing happened until we interacted with the MAs. What happened over here? Nothing happened until we interacted with the MAs and pushed off higher. So now you can refine these two a little bit more, right? It wasn't until after we interacted with the MAs. And then at what point did it actually start its move? Oh, the moment we touched and a giant candle formed. The moment we touched, giant candle form right here. Touch. It looks like it didn't touch here. Technically not valid. Maybe considerably valid depending on the size. But yeah, touch and go. Touch and go. Now, a quick tip. If this isn't valid, you can actually force it to be valid. You can jump to the 22-minute. Okay, now this one's valid. Or if you don't like that entry, you can jump to the 25-minute. Oh, now this entry is valid, right? And you can effectively force any and every trade if you jump between timeframes. Because look, now this entry is valid, but now this one isn't. So now I can jump back to the 22, and now this one is over this high. Or I jump to the 20, and now it's this candle even lower, right? So it's a very dangerous thing to play around with very similar timeframes because you can force anything and everything if you're not careful. So I restrict myself to solely the 20-minute period, because otherwise, I'd see a small push like right here and say, well, if I were to jump to the 15-minute, okay, almost valid, almost valid. Oh, there's an entry right here. I could have taken that one, but then you just start taking things because you're forcing them, right? So biggest piece of advice is stick to one time frame for your validation. Don't jump around. Because yeah, you can pull your edge out of every single time frame, but if you're doing that, you're kind of just taking anything and everything, right? So
Yeah. Yeah, I'm never doing that. I'm really sticking
yeah,
to that.
I made that mistake once. You don't have to do it again. So
Yeah.
going forward, if you want, we'll stop this recording here to kind of finalize the showing off what a bad market condition looks like and what your system should particularly perform like in a very bad market condition, which is generally break even to small profits. And I'm happy with a break even. That just reassured me that my system is not bad. With a max drawdown of 6%, risking 0.8 per trade, that's actually pretty reasonable. You didn't blow accounts, you didn't mess up your life. You simply took 6%, went back to break even, and you're good. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we'll stop this recording here, and then we'll start a new gold.
By the way,
Yeah.
a little question. When you stop this recording, would it be an idea to maybe when we test the next clear market that you would trade live, to have it in the same video to like show like a comparison between
Well, we'll just
how
continue this video then. Why not? It's just gonna be a
okay,
longer
okay.
video. I don't like to put out video. I used to put out videos that were
Oh, I forgot.
6 hours long,
Yeah, I forgot.
and nobody. I mean, We'll do it in the same recording. So now I want to do another year and I want to contrast it. I've never done this. So I've never done gold. This is something I've been wanting to do. Gold. I don't know if I want to do contract. So what I'll do is, because there's so many golds, we have gold contracts for futures. So we can trade this, or we can trade the Forex version, which moves similar, but very different. If you notice, like the actual candle delivery, right? GC. Oh, my bad. You can just see it moves a lot. The Forex pair moves a lot more fluid. This one's a lot more questionable. So if you want, I've wanted to do 2023 solely because I did NQ on that, and I want to compare and contrast the movement. So let me see if I can find 2023. It might be a little choppy, but we'll see. This is 2024. It looks like 24 was a pretty good year on gold. And then 23 might be very choppy. Yeah, it's similar choppiness to 24, so it's not bad. Still very clean delivery. So what I'll do is close trading view. Okay, and we'll do the gold contracts. Start with a 300K, and then we'll do GC. And then we'll do 2023. Something like that. And then go to 24. Okay. I do have to head out of here in about half an hour at the latest.
Yeah, that's cool.
So we'll see how far we can get with this. But looking at this right away, choppy, period. However, starting to come out of this choppiness on the right-hand side of price, kind of like over here, kind of like over here, I'm still going to follow it.
Okay.
These are what I classify as risk trades, because the market is questionable and you're risking on the fact that it's going to go the moment you enter, but it's very unlikely that you will. But the few times that it does end up going makes up for all the losses that it didn't end up going. So that's why I call it a risk trade. You're taking a risk in the short term for a long-term reward, knowing that in the long term you're going to make money off of it. So 4 hour good.
Yeah.
By
the way, did you start a recording or?
Let me double check. Yes, we're recording.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, so let me go to our first session. So skip to the next day, and it's New Year, so we probably won't get much the very first few days. But this is December 30th, so we'll just skip to the New Year. Okay. What time is this? 4 in the morning. Perfect. So 4 hour gun, hourly very weak. Oh, why does it do that? I don't know why it hit me out of here. Okay. So 4 hour good, hourly good, 20 minute. I'm gonna wait for a nice entry and then I'm taking it. This might be red news, so if anything, I gotta put this to January 23. Okay, no red news. Generally at the start of the year, like I said, there's a shit ton of red news. So notice how there's no question now. Look at how clean this is. Choppy here, super clean here. No questions. I'm just looking 4 hour good, hourly good, 20 minute good. And there's your long. Now, given that we're so extended, probably gonna be a loss, but I'm okay with that. 20 minute ATR is gonna be 3.1. I'm gonna be a lot more precise with this back test as well. Get tapped in, get tapped out. Nothing bad there. Okay, and we fall down. And that's pretty much it for the day. I probably wouldn't be looking for anything else here. Done for the day. So 1 loss on the first day. 4 hour good, hourly good. Gonna wait for a 20 minute validation here. What time is this? We do have red news coming up. Hour and 20. 4 hour good, hourly good. 20. Red news is in an hour and 40, so it's still a valid entry. I don't like how the strength came from all the way down here. I would have liked it to come from the actual MA, but still valid, so I'll take a long here. Once again, one of those risk entries because probably going to lose, but if it doesn't, it'll make up for all the losses. Okay, falls off, nothing to do. 20 minute, gonna wait for red news to play out. Nothing to do, nothing to do, nothing to do, and I'm done for the day. Go to the next day. 4 hours starts falling off. No trade zone for me, no trade zone. Gonna wait till our session. Coming into our session, the only thing I can anticipate is sells right now. So I'll jump down here and wait for the hourly to shape up, and it falls back up. So now, coming in at 4 in the morning, this is so perfect, bro. Now I'm looking for longs again. Falls in perfect narrative with what I'm looking for to take out this high. 4 hour good, hourly good, 20 minute good. Gotta wait 40 minutes after red news. That's 20, 40. Valid buy stop over this high. However, we do have red news coming up here in an hour. So kind of up to you if you take it. It is within respectable bounds, but given the size of these candles, I am already anticipating a loss, but I'm okay with it. ATR is 4.6, something like that. I'm so okay taking my loss here. Let me double check. 4 hour good, hourly good, 20 minute good. Yeah, there was just so much money that came into this. Cool, don't get tapped in. Gonna wait for new entry validation after red news here. Red news is on this candle, so just let it play out. Lo and behold, we hit our target, but we just didn't get an entry, and that's okay. So this was red news 20, 40. I guess there was a valid entry here, but it's okay. We'll let it slide because we kind of already know it's a winner. Go to the next day. We hit our target on the 4 hour, so I'm still looking for those continuations higher. 4 hour good, hourly good. So 20 minute entry validation right here. There we go. Hopefully not red news. 4 hour good, hourly good, 20 minute good. So 5 minute long over this high. ATR is 1.8. Something like that. I'm gonna move it just slightly higher to prevent any sort of wick out. Tapped out, take a loss. 20 minute, I'm gonna wait for some sort of new entry here. I'm gonna double check for news on January 9th. And notice it's already been a week and no profitable trades, and that's just part of the game, especially during New Year's. It's gonna take a little bit of time for the market to stabilize. Just gonna skip, nothing good here. 4 hour just going sideways. Money starts flowing in with red news, so hourly good, 20 minute good. Gonna wait for red news to play out. Potential valid entry over this high. I'd have to look at the time. 2 week, wait for a new setup, and just kind of falls down. Nothing to do here this session. Done for the day. No entry. 4 hour, once again falling down. Now, when I see price action right the MAs like this, I hate it, and it's a very, very, very good indication that price is either going to fall off or it'll build away, but without any sort of entry. That's just what my testing has proven. Like right here, builds off of the MA, just rides it, falls off. Builds, falls off. Rides MA, falls off. Here, it just kind of took off, no entry. Yeah, so it's like a 50-50. I just hate it because there's no actual buying of it. It's just kind of slowly making its way up. So if anything, I want to see this market crash. Gonna wait till our session though. So till now, okay. So money does start coming in a nicer fashion, slightly moving away from the MA's less wickiness. So 4 hour good. Hourly, it's a little questionable. And we do have red news coming up, so wait for red news to play out in 240. So we still have enough time to take an entry here. 4 hour good. Hourly is just very, very weak. Yeah, this is one of the ones that entries that make me question it a little bit. Still valid technically, but once again, when you have to think about an entry like this a lot, it's probably best to not take it. Still valid though. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take one loss here. I don't know, bro. It's one of those where I want to take it, but I know I shouldn't. It's just
I mean,
so
I'd say
weak. So weak.
if you take it live, I would take it now, but
Yeah. On live, I'm thinking through it. On live, it's one of those risk entries where if I took it, it's because I'm willing to lose the money. And so I'll do that. But sometimes you're going to get faced with a trade that's just like, you don't have enough data about it to make a very good decision on it. So you kind of have to guesstimate. And over time, the more data you collect, like this is just one of the entries that are okay. Move to break even as soon as possible. Okay, well that shouldn't have stopped me out because have I
Yeah.
told you why I don't move my stop loss to break even like that?
Yeah, because it gets. I know what it is. Like it gets
Yeah, okay.
behind the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets so annoying.
But the weird thing is that on the previous FX replay, if you move the TP, it would get away from it from behind the entry, but now it just doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
They
Usually
updated it. Or
it's
like
kind of
they
rare that it
downgraded.
happens, that it overlays that bad, but it's rare that I'll move it to here and then it taps me out. But technically I'm still in the move to break even, probably take a break even on this one. Looking to manage relatively quickly. What are we at right now? Yeah, I'm gonna take off 70% right about now, just for security purposes. Given these
Okay, so
giant
you're not considering the structure on the lowers
on
to
the
manage.
yeah, that's what I managed with, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so I moved it right to here because this had, if we step down lower, this in itself is like a fractal reaccumulation, which left a demand zone right here. So I'm anticipating we won't come back down below it, and I guess we did, right? So
Okay.
I'm gonna manage just my remaining 30% to here. Gonna move this up. And red news. So great, we got taken out at,
Yo, that wick is crazy.
yeah, no kidding. What is this? 1% wick? It's not too bad. 4-hour good, hourly good, 20-minute good. So now I'm just gonna wait for a re-entry here. Nothing. This is a potential entry here. Let me look at the 4-hour. 4 hours good, hourly's okay. 20 minutes good. Yeah, so this is a potential entry here. ATR is 1.9. It's a very, very tight entry. Probably going to be an immediate stop out. Yep. Move to break even. I guess we survived. Probably break even, at least. Close my entire position at 2 p.m. And we take a break even here. Okay, close everything. This was a 3-hour runner. Well, not really a runner, but 4-hour coming back down. So I'm gonna wait for hourly to shape up. 4 hours okay, hourly's okay. So I'm gonna wait for the 20-minute. Too close to red news though, unfortunately. Still a clean entry right over this high. What time is this? So this is 10, so 10:20 would be your entry. Let me go look at it. So look at the difference. The major difference between clean price action and whatever earlier was. Like notice it's still wicky. It's still not clean, but very clean in the sense of direction, right? Very clean in the sense of notice we don't have those longer chops, but rather it comes down, one chop and then goes back up, comes down, couple chops, goes back up. So it's not, I don't know how to explain it. It's just not as dirty as the other one, right?
Yeah.
Like even here, you probably still have a couple opportunities to take something. You still have a couple opportunities, probably a couple stop outs. Now we're lucky because we kind of get to miss that. That was December of last year. So if anything, we'll go back and test this later to see how the system would have done. But yet again, I like to stay out of that price action. So 4 hour good, hourly good, 20-minute good. What time was this? It looks like it's not valid though. Yeah, I can't take this. No interaction with the MA, although it's probably going to be a nice entry. So just go to next day, nothing to do there. 4 hour, nothing to do. Hourly, gonna wait for money to come in. And we're done for the day. 4 hour, nothing to do again. Gonna wait for money to come in. Nothing happens, nothing happens. Our session comes in, money comes in as well. So 4 hour good, hourly good. So 20-minute potential entry validation here. We do have red news though, so let red news play out. 40 minutes after. And we just fall off. So it's very simple versus the other one I had to be guessing. Now I just know I'm staying out of all this. Simple. Okay, money comes in on our session again. So 4 hour good, hourly good, 20-minute good. I want to go look at this entry. I know I'm not going to enter it. However, I want to look at what it looked like on the 4 hour and the hourly. So I can show you an example of what it means to be too low in the range. Notice, this is still considered a range-bound market for me in a no trade zone. However, if we're up here, I'm taking that now. You see that? So 4 hour, very bad. Hourly, very bad. So 20-minute, we're looking for another sort of entry. It's a little weak compared to this candle, so I can't really take that.
What about the one right after?
This one?
Like the one a little below?
This one.
No, I mean like the you know the one that you wouldn't take because it was too low?
This
Like
one?
yeah, two
Yeah.
candles after that.
2 candles, 1, 2. This one?
Yeah. Why
No
is this one
interaction
not
with MA. I like to see it go
okay.
sideways. Yeah,
Okay.
very simple. And then this one was just too weak. It's too
Mhm.
small compared to this candle, the previous one.
Yeah.
So coming in on 11, notice the size of this candle. We're about 3.2 units, and this one's about 3.2. So there's no volume difference if you want to look at it theoretically. No volume difference between this one and this one. So why am I going to take this entry? Well, maybe you should have, right? So sometimes you win some, you lose some, and you have to learn that you can't take every entry, right? So coming into our session again, getting into a little bit of chop. Okay, money starts to come in, but it's way after our session. Still nothing. Money starts to come in, but it's after our session, so still nothing. And if we step up to the 4 hour, we'll see the same thing. No trade zone, that simple. And then here, come on out of it, but probably baselining on the hourly. So I'm waiting, there we go. So yeah, waiting for the hourly. Yeah, hourly to have a little bit of a stronger push, and then our entry is gonna be within that candle. So right here, our entry is gonna be. Go up to a 4 hour. 4 hours pretty reasonable, especially with the amount of strength that came from this low. 4 hour good, hourly good. So 20-minute entry and no other entry. You could have considered this as an entry, but once again, I don't like how much weakness there was here versus how much weakness there was here. A lot bigger. Although they kind of might look the same to you, right?
Yeah, they do.
It's just all the other variables surrounded by wickiness, riding in the MA, still within the range. This one's no longer in this range, pushed away from the range, a little bit tighter of a high, right? However, it's too late to take because it's past our session, so it doesn't really matter. It's still nice to look at examples though. So 4 hour, no trade zone, simple. There we go, coming into our session. It's a little late in our session, so no entry. Only entry was this one, and it ended up running. So what time is this? 9 in the morning. I want to go see if this would have been a valid entry, but I probably won't take it unless it's very valid. 4 hour, not valid at all. Still in this chop. So just go to the next day. Hey, I'll have to wrap it up here, by the way. in a little
Yeah,
bit.
okay.
So 4 hour, once again, just falling down. Okay, coming into our session, very beautiful money that's coming in. Look at this, came into that maze, undercut them, got bought up into them, and now riding them up. This is so perfect. And into our session. Now, you can see there's a lot of chop here, but we took very minimal losses in here. So that's what I like to see. 4 hour good, hourly good. So 20 minute. Just gonna look for a valid entry. What time was this at? That's too early, so I gotta wait for a new re-entry for me. 2 week of a candle, 2 week of a candle, 2 week at the high of the candle. So notice how I'm very specific with this. I don't take any validation candle. It has to be a very specific one. Okay, and I'm done for the day. Once again, no trade zone until money comes in. Okay, money comes in, but to the opposite side, immediate thing that I'm doing is looking for sells right away. 4 hour sells, hourly sells, 20 minute. So look for any sort of entry here for sells. Red news, it appears like. And back into chop. Money does start coming into alongside, which once again, as earlier, undercut Emez getting bought up into. That's something I like to see. So 4 hour, a little low in the range, but still potential opportunity here. So I'll wait for the 20 minute to line up. And nothing for the day. There you go. Another day of nothing. 4 hour, just baselining. Gonna wait for money to come in. Money comes in very strongly, but it's past our session, so just kind of gotta let it be. Falls back down, so we're back into chop. I do want to go look inside of this one. Actually, no, it was red news, so it doesn't matter. So once again, we're chopping back down. Immediate thing that I'm looking for are sells. That's the only thing I kind of want to be looking for. It's very choppy on the hourly, so I'm going to be kind of cautious on the 20. Red news, so nothing to do there. More red news, nothing to do. And end of day. Not a single entry. 4 hour starts falling off. Going to continue looking for those continuation sells. Looking for any sort of validation entry here. Potential entry here. I'm going to go look at the 4 hour. 4 hours looking quite nice, actually. It's not bad. So hourly is also looking like a lot of money's coming into it. 20 minute. It's a small candle relative to the other ones. Like these are even bigger than this one. So if anything, I'm gonna do a lot more testing on this one specific variable to see if I can refine my edge over time. But that's your entry really, only one. We'll see if it's a break even, so we don't have to replay. Let's see if it came down first. 20.
Yeah, it's definitely a break even, right?
Yeah, 3.1. Yep, so push up, move to break even, break even. Yeah, and there's just too much weakness right now. Like, yeah, there's another potential entry here, but it's too weak of a candle. It might go. But yeah, I'm done for the day. Nothing to do there. And you can see most of the time I'm just sitting out. And that's why I have time to work on other projects, like no trade zone. And once you get a system working for yourself, it's like half the time you're just sitting there. I know other people play video games while they're waiting for trades to play out, stuff like that. So coming into our session, money's starting to come into the long side. Let me look at the daily. Daily, this is our long-term target. I know that's where I want to hit. 4 hour. By the way, that's the only time I'll use the daily, just to look at the higher time frame. So yeah, 4 hour money is coming in. Hourly is very weak. There is probably going to be a couple entries in here. We'll see how it plays out. Potentially red news. We'll go and verify that red news, but yep, continue falling off. So looking at this 4 hour now, probably going to want to continue looking for sells here. What time is it? I don't think we have any sort of entries in here. Yeah, so done for the day. 4 hour, once again, entering this no trade zone of probably just chop here for a little bit. So if anything, I want to see some very strong bearishness come in, and there's nothing. Okay, coming into our session now. Now I can start looking for sells again. Notice how this was classified as a no trade zone for me. Missed out on all this chop, whatever it was. There wasn't even a one good entry that ran, right? And then 4 hour, now we're stepping into the clean price action. 20 minute, see if we get an entry in here. Probably not because of red news. Let red news play out and then look for an entry. Potential entry over this high. It's a little weak compared to the other candles, so you can either let it go or take it. Looking at the time, 8:20. It's the first validation candle in the entire range, so I'll take one loss here and call it good. ATR is 1.6. Get tapped in. February 15th. I want to double check that's the only red news of that day. Okay, just at 6:30, which lines up with this. Okay, and you're kind of done for the day. Trying to see if you get another potential entry, but yep, done for the day. Nothing to do. No trade zone. Money comes in for the sells. Good. 4 hour good. Hourly good. 20 minute. Nothing to do. Very, very bad market condition. And money starts flowing into the opposite direction. So once again, no trade zone. Wait till our session. There we go. 4 hour good. Hourly good. 20 minute good. Hopefully no red news, but valid buy stop over these highs. Yeah, it's not too bad. I'll take one loss here and then call it good. ATR is 1.1. Very tight entry. Get tapped in, get tapped out. Cool. Have I taken? Yeah, I think I took 2 losses this session. No, I can't remember.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't
Okay,
remember
so
as
we'll
well.
just call it a day because I forgot. And the price action isn't that good. So 4 hour, we're kind of just waiting for the buildup. Whoa, okay. An 8% wick. 4 hour good, hourly good. So 20 minute. Give this market a little bit of time. Okay, potential entry right over this high, February 21st. Bro, this wick looks so gnarly. 4 hours, okay. Hourly's okay. It's not the best entry, but it's an entry. ATR is 1.1. Probably take a loss here, nothing new. Cool. Now on the 4 hour, yeah, I kind of want to skip through all this shit. You can just tell it's not good at all. Writing that MA again. Okay, so let me delete everything so I can see what's going on here. Lots of red news, so most of this I just kind of want to be staying out of for a little bit. Yep, don't want to trade any of this, no trade zone. Wait till our session, there we go. Okay, so we're getting a little bit of a reversal in price action here. 4 hours okay. Hourly is doing a lot better. 4 hour good, hourly good. So 20 minute. Good enough away from red news. So potential long right over this high, ATR is 1.3. Get tapped in, get tapped out, nothing new. Move to break even. Take a break even. Wait for a new reentry. New reentry, but red news is in. No, we still got plenty of time. You get a secondary entry and it appears to go a little further. Okay. 4 hour good, hourly good, 20-minute good, 5-minute. Long over this high is 1.3 ATR. Move to break even on that push. Stop break even, take a break even. Lots of break evens. Coming into red news, so nothing to do there. Wait for red news to play out. And nothing for the day. Done for the day. Okay, once again, 4 hour. This is where I start to get confused and I just skip. Okay, starts to get clean. I want to go look at the converse. So it would be somewhere around here. Session starts at this time for us. Nothing to do, nothing to do. So we'll go to the next session. And maybe on the hourly we get something. I want to see lots of bullishness here, but just falls off again. So when you anticipate the market to do something, like continue delivering or continue delivering from this point, but then we fall back down, it's a very clear indication that any other sort of conclusions that you try to draw about the market are likely going to be wrong, just given the fact that it's doing the complete opposite of what you expect it to. So I just skip. I just don't look at the market. Okay, now we're getting something else. We're getting crazy money coming into this direction on our session at this point. So let me show you at what point I'd start looking at the market. Let me reverse. So at this point, this is still a no trade zone. I think it's going to be the red news that does it. Yep. So at this point, now I'd consider looking for longs, because if we reverse this, we got a lot of bearishness coming into this market, right? So I'm okay now considering some sort of entry here, although we do have red news, so probably nothing. Market just goes. Let it do whatever.
So
Yeah.
a little question. Would you consider this a market that's driven by red news as well, or
No.
because it's a bit cleaner, it
Not at
doesn't?
all. Because if I go here into my news and I go into economic and turn on past events, I don't know where I can do that. Past events, and we go and look at what points the market moves. The market moves on its own, like here. For the most part, this entire move was caused on its own, and then this small burst was caused by this news event. So you can tell, like, this entire market move started on its own, and then the news event was its catalyst to continue. And most of these moves kind of start on their own, right? News events, if you go and pinpoint them, they cause a lot of more sporadic movement, right? Sporadic, but no giant like shifts in the market, right? Look at this. This caused pretty moderate move. And then this one just kind of worked as a catalyst for what this market was already doing. So
Okay, that's very interesting.
do you see it the same, or do you see it slightly different?
No, but when I compare this to MES, I'm like, okay, it's clearly a different condition, you know, when you
Yeah.
point it out like that.
Yeah, markets just go through these phases, man. At the end of the day, if you look at a market long enough, for a long enough period, it'll turn into, like, I've looked at gold and JPY and I'm like, this looks like, NASDAQ in 2016. So it's really awesome to draw those conclusions because it teaches you a lot. That's the kind of memorization you want to learn. What time
Yeah.
was this? 10:20. So one valid entry here. And then I think that's it. Probably going to be a break even, but we'll still log it. 4 hour. I mean, look at that money, bro. This is undeniable proof of where the market's headed, right? Let me flip this. Yeah, the market just kind of wants to fall off. So 20-minute. It's still a very strong candle and didn't interact with MAs. So it's still a clean entry. I wish we could get to the cleaner price action, because I'm sure this will clear up very quickly and then we'll get something clean, but we'll have to wrap it up here on this trade. Get tapped in on one strong move. Not strong enough, but technically break even. There we go. Move to break even on that push. That's what I was waiting for. Take a break even. Cool. close everything at 2 p.m. Yeah, so there's been absolutely nothing good of this market yet, right? I want to wait for the cleaner price action, which hopefully we do get cleaner price action. But okay, starting to clear up here a little bit. 4 hour good, hourly good. So 20 minute, we might get an entry somewhere in here. Oh, it's the end of the day, so we can't. Once again, 4 hours acting a little funny. That's the first thing I noticed. Like kind of like a distribution a little bit. Chopping down, chopping back up, down, up. Probably gonna next move maybe be down. I want the next move to be up. But yep, back down. So this is where the market gets a little funky. Okay, wait for our session. This is 4 a.m. So this technically was our session. We'll see if there's anything in there, but hopefully it wasn't red news. So looking at this 4 hour, we're in this weird market. Like I don't know what the market wants to do at this point. So what I'll do is look at that hourly and wait for a strong move, which we kind of saw. It was red news, so probably no entry here. 4 hour bearishness is very strong. Hourly's good, so 20 minute. Only thing you got here to work with is wait for a new validation entry. This is your only one, but too close to red news. So just kind of let it go. Let it do whatever it wants to. And then no re-entry here. Just kind of goes. Time is this? 10? Okay, maybe an entry here. 4 hour just completely fell off the face of the earth. Hourly good, 20 minute good. Yeah, it's not so valid because this candle is the same size as the previous candle, right? And that's something I'm still testing. Technically under my book, it's still valid, but it's something I've been testing with similar candles in the area. And so coming into 2 p.m., this would be your close. This was your entry. Maybe a break even. Yep, so this would have been a break-even trade regardless. Go to the next day. So yeah, we'll wrap it up here. We're still pretty much break-even on the count. We're up 6,000. So we'll, if you have time tomorrow, we'll finish it up at some point.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's been an
This is,
interesting backtest because once again, you're seeing similar attributes from the other backtest. Chop, kind of weird. Chop, kind of weird, right? And so I'd like to see this kind of market condition, the more trendy, right? The more trendy. Like this move right here, I bet was a really good year in 2022. So we just have to finish this up and then we'll see where we stand. But go and do your testing on your behalf with that, the thing you were
yes.
talking about.
Definitely.
And yeah, we'll see what kind of conclusions we reach. I think that'd be really interesting because we'll probably find a lot of new awesome things.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see.
Alrighty, bro. We'll wrap it up here.
All right.
Because I do have to run some errands and all that, but we'll stay in touch. Shoot me a
This
message.
was very valuable, man. Learned
Yeah.
a lot.
We'll stay in touch. More calls to come for sure.
Okay, bet.
Alrighty.
Have a nice day, man.
Hey, you as well. Bye-bye.
Right, bye.
Alrighty, guys, I do have to run, but hopefully that gives you insight into what the worst market condition looks like. I thought that was an atrocious market from earlier. This is a lot more reasonable, and this I do like. It's just there's going to be points in the market in which your system is going to behave very beautifully, and other times you're just break even. Right now, we're just break even, and you just got to catch one 10 RR to make up for all those losses and plus more, right? So as I pack up here, I think a very important lesson here is to not get discouraged and don't trade live, because if you trade live, you start with your challenge and then you lose a challenge and then you lose another and another. First of all, you're not learning anything. Focus on literally just don't touch money for the first 2 years. It's been 6 years since I last touched live capital. And now as I'm getting into the game again, I got my system all figured out and I'm quite profitable. now as I touch live money, it's like, it's a joke. I don't have problems with emotions. I don't have problems with anything. I know that if I execute my system the way I constructed it, that it's going to perform very well. So awesome, guys. Peace out, and we'll stay in touch.